Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, October 8th, our latest webinar in our series of celebrating Rideshare Month, connecting drivers, riders, a carpool, vanpool story. We're just going to give it another couple minutes, not even, maybe a minute and a half, so that people can sign on, get ready, and we can start listening from our panelists and our commuters. So thanks for joining us, and just sit tight for a minute or two and we'll get this started. We have a great panel with us today. We have Effie from Commute with Enterprise, and we have Andrew from Waze Carpool, along with our commuters who are going to tell us how they have benefited from ride sharing.
Do you want to kick it off, Andrew?
Actually, I'll get going.
Sure.
Want me to start?
Yeah.
Sure.
I can start. Okay. So it's a little after 12. Let's get started. So good afternoon. We continue to celebrate Rideshare Month, and today's topic is connecting drivers and riders, a carpool vanpool story. In this session, we'll explore the benefits of carpooling and vanpooling, and we'll also show you how to find partners to ride with using eCommuter, an online commuter tool. Maybe you were part of a carpool or vanpool prior to COVID-19, but not traveling to your workplace now. Maybe you haven't been part of a vanpool or carpool. It's a great time to explore, to think about your carpool options now or even in the future. If you're not driving to work, we're pretty much sure that it will come back eventually. My name is Julie Quinn, and joining me to facilitate today's webinar are Kelly Marsacci and Sophia Gallimore. Today's webinar is brought to you by Transaction Associates. We're a full-service transportation company assisting clients with commuting options, benefits, and basically promoting green commutes. To begin, carpool is sharing the ride usually with 1 to 4 people, and vanpooling is generally riding with 4 to 15. Both offer added comfort for commuting with the same people. Both are cost-effective and can offer extra me time when not driving. During the presentation, if you do have questions, please submit them in the questions taskbar on the right side of your screen. Today's panelists include Andrew from Waze Carpool and Effie from Commute with Enterprise to talk about carpooling and vanpooling. Also joining us are 2 vanpool commuters, Ned and Winston. Having a little bit of technical problems with Ned, but Winston is here and hopefully we can get Ned on board. We'll also have a demo of eCommuter, where you will learn how to find carpool, vanpool partners and register for emergency ride home if you should ever need it. We'll close out the webinar with revealing the next word or phrase of our secret sleuth game, and then announce today's winner. For joining us, we'll have 1 winner who will win an Emerald car wash and cleaner kit. So let's welcome Andrew with Waze Carpool, and he can talk about carpooling. All yours, Andrew.
Great. Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's see if let me know if just confirm for me that my screen is showing.
It is, but you can go bigger. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
There you go. Excellent. Great. Well, it's so good to be with you all today. I'm going to talk a little bit about carpooling right now in the midst of a pandemic, introduce you to Waze Carpool, talk a little bit about why we think carpooling, and the same, as I said, the broader context, the same is very much true for vanpooling as well, why it's important and will continue to be important. And then I'll briefly introduce you to Waze Carpool itself. So first, just a little bit, lots of folks about Waze. There's the Waze that it's the app that you and your friends and family use to help yourself navigate around with 130 million other people in 185 countries who are doing that. And we help people get where they're going quickly and easily, some 16 billion miles a month. And we're nearly back to the same number of miles traveled on Waze that were being traveled before the start of the of the pandemic. But Waze is actually more than just this navigation app. We are a global community of everybody who inputs information into the Waze app when you report something, and do, as simple as saying, "Hey Google, report traffic," and it takes that. We also, and of course now my phone is turned on Google when I said that, and we have thousands of map editors all over the world who are going into the map every day and fixing it in their own community and improving it in their own communities. And this community is really the heart of Waze, but we've also been evolving over the last few years. We have a data sharing program with partners in government across the world, and partners on the broadcaster side and at event stadiums. We have over 1,300 of those partners. We work closely with the emergency management community on 1,500 crises each year, creating evacuation zones and delivering information directly to citizens about the resources they need. We just launched this week in Oregon, being able to link Waze drivers to sign up for FEMA benefits from the fires out there. We have a beacons program. We are able to maintain GPS coverage through tunnels, as actually all the tunnels in the Boston area benefit from this. And then of course what we're here to talk about today, which is Waze Carpool, which is launched in 4 countries: the US, Brazil, Israel, and Mexico. The world is starting to move, again. Here you can see number of miles driven as a percentage change each day in Boston and New York on Waze. New York, traffic and miles driven are really coming back. In Boston, and this is Boston proper. If you look at the region overall, the driving is the number of miles driven is back even more strongly. But I think for here, really, the story is we know people are going to be coming back to work. There's going to be a vaccine. Life will return to some kind of new normal, and this gives us time to really prepare and have a reset on how people commute to work. We know that carpooling can help even in this time. And in downtown Atlanta, the bid in that area has been promoting carpooling through this time. It's a time where carpooling and vanpool solutions can help you control, the number, the employees that you have together. If you have folks who are traveling and who are working in pods, it allows them to travel in pods. If transit access has become an issue or car availability has become an issue, carpooling can be a great solution to that. And as places and environments that are really parking constrained, as customers start coming back or patients start coming back in hospital settings and parking constraints return, carpooling can be a great solution. And carpooling was an important solution more broadly for all of us, even well before the start of carpool. And as now, as we're more focused than ever before on what an economic recovery looks like, and making sure that economic recovery benefits all Americans, particularly those who historically have been discriminated against and left behind, we think that carpooling can be an important part of that solution. 3/4 of low and middle skill workers in metro areas can't access, 3/4 of the jobs can't be accessed by transit in less than 90 minutes. Carpooling is a solution for that. 5 times more African Americans lack access to a car than white Americans. Carpooling is a solution for that. And even in the Boston area, right? One of the parts of the country with the greatest transit systems. If we look at how many jobs are accessible by transit, this was true before the pandemic, it'll be true after, versus how many are accessible by car within 30 minutes at peak. There are tremendous disparities in what's accessible to people who need to get to work. And we think carpooling can play an important role in helping bridge some of those gaps. So just a little bit on what is Waze Carpool. What Waze Carpool has done is modernized carpool matching. And we think that's important, in that Typically, it's just a third of jobs that are accessible by transit in less than 90 minutes in most major US metro areas. The average commute is 13 miles. You know, so many more people are commuting by biking and walking, which is fantastic. But you know, 13 miles is not a bikeable commute for most folks. And it's been a long time, I think, coming to have carpool matching modernized and to create a experience that feels of the moment. And that's something that we have done at Waze Carpool. Our approach to carpooling is really important to distinguish in that it is not ride sharing. This is not Uber or Lyft. We're peer-to-peer matching. So we're connecting regular commuters and not professional drivers. You get to know who you're traveling with beforehand on the app and pick who you offer, pick who you accept a ride with. This is only for drives that are happening anyway. And this is about sharing the cost of travel, not earning income. So your ride is capped at the IRS cost, the IRS reimbursement rate of 57.5 cents per mile. In fact, you know, trips are often much less expensive than that. We don't have a service fee, and the driver actually gets to set the cost. So if they want to set that cost to zero, they can do that. Just a little bit of a look at how it works. You sign up to join Waze Carpool. You create a profile for yourself. We allow you to filter your drivers or riders to be coworkers only or the same gender only. You put in your time of travel and where you're traveling to and from. And what Waze is able to do is match folks with you who are along that route without having any kind of significant diversion from your route. So never traveling more than 5 or 10 minutes, ensuring your privacy by allowing allowing communication and payment to occur all inside of the app itself. And we've had over 300 public and private partnerships to date, employers, cities, metropolitan planning organizations, transportation management associations, all partnering with us to help solve their transportation problems. And before the pandemic, we were making great inroads in the United States. We had 25 million miles shared by Waze Carpoolers. We were on track globally before the pandemic to be carrying about 1 million trips a month. Obviously, that has dramatically declined with the pandemic, but we remain very committed to carpool, in large part because Waze was created actually by a group of volunteers before it became a private company and recognized the opportunity to generate revenue through advertising. And it was started as a way to really eliminate traffic. And what we recognize is that the only way you do that is by taking cars off the road, and Waze Carpool is a real opportunity to do that. Obviously, health and safety is very important right now. And so what we've done is we've limited in the app carpools to one rider and one driver. You can't have multiple riders in a Waze Carpool right now. We encourage folks to obviously wear face coverings and increase the ventilation in the car. We're following guidance from the CDC and ACT, the Association for Commuter Transportation. And we also provide for you sort of built in, it was never thought about this this way, but a kind of contact tracing, right? So you know who you've been riding with. You can create a carpool pod. You can pool with a pod if you want, but you also have a record of who you've been traveling with, and you can communicate with those people. We're able to share the results for our partners who carpool with us and who develop partnerships with us, so you know what the results are of carpooling at your employee, with your group, and you see the kind of results that you're getting, which we think is a really important part of understanding what the impact of carpooling is. At a policy level, I'm really excited to hear what the personal impact is, because we know that is something that is just tremendous, that personal impact with carpooling and vanpooling. And we've integrated with platforms like Ride Amigos and Loom so that you can track your rides if you're working with a TMA or a partner that uses one of these platforms. We can partner with you if you're an employer on how to pool to work. If you're a TMA, we can help identify routes. We provide turnkey marketing kits. We help generate carpooling through messaging to our drivers in the area. And as I talked about, we have that data that we can provide to track progress. And we have the ability to provide some incentives to help encourage people to try carpooling and to keep carpooling so it becomes a habit. So I'll stop there, and thanks very much for this opportunity, and of course, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Wonderful. And I'll get you over Effie as the presenter so you can get it all set up for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. That was fantastic. Yes, again, Waze Carpool is coming a long way to help out sharing the ride, and what a great time to celebrate that. And now I'd like to welcome Effie from Commute with Enterprise, and she will talk about vanpooling. So Effie, are you good? You all set? I can't hear you. Unmute.
It's because unmute. I'm unmuted.
There you go.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Heather has a big sign. You're on mute.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. All good.
Perfect. Well,
Thank you.
hello
Go ahead.
everyone. Hello everyone. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying the Rideshare Month so far. My name is Effie, and I work for Commute with Enterprise. Thank you all so much for joining this webinar, and I'm super excited to talk to all of you about our return to work commute solution. Here's a very quick overview of our agenda for today. I'm going to give you a very quick background on Commute with Enterprise, who we are and what we do. I want to spend most of our time to tell you about our service, how it works, and most importantly, what's included with the program. I'll explain a little bit how we've reacted and how we've responded to COVID-19 by putting the health and safety of our employees and customers first before anything else. And then towards the end of our discussion, I'll focus a little bit more on how and why this can impact our commuters' life, and then close a little bit with next steps and how to get started. First, let me tell you a little bit about Commute. Commute with Enterprise is actually a division of Enterprise Holdings. You probably know us and have heard us as Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and we currently operate National and Alamo as well. As a total transportation solution, we also offer truck rentals, fleet management, as well as car sales. For Commute, our mission is in our name. We currently help organizations and their employees with alternatives to driving alone. We've been operating Vanpools for a little bit over 40 years, and we currently have on our fleet about 12,000 vehicles. But what most don't actually realize is that we are an extension of public transit, like bus and train and carpools and biking. That being said, we feel that our service is uniquely positioned to help employees just like you to get to work in a safe and reliable way. So what is vanpooling and how does it work? Let's dive right in. The easiest way to think about vanpooling is that it functions like a large carpool. We will help you actually connect with a group of 4 or more co-workers that typically live in the same area and share the similar commute and similar work hours as you. We'll provide you with a newer year model 7-passenger SUV or crossover or even a passenger van. Everyone typically meets at a designated central location like a park and ride or your local plaza. Any place that there's enough parking for you to leave your personal vehicle. We actually even have some groups picking up people from their houses, but we'll leave this decision in the hands of the group. And I jumped 2 slides forward. I apologize for that. So we'll leave the decision of the meeting location to the hands of the group. From there, the participants actually take turns driving to and from the work site, sharing the driving responsibilities, but also enjoying the opportunity to close their eyes and just relax. The vanpools are usually intended for commute used to and from the work site. And then the participants actually split the cost of the van rental from enterprise as well as the monthly fuel. Now that we've talked about vanpooling and how it works, let's talk a little bit more why employees just like you love to commute with enterprise. Our service actually includes a turnkey package, which accepts the vehicle we provide you. We also include a 24/7 roadside assistance through our enterprise network, a preventive full maintenance, $1 million liability with a zero deductible. And the best of all for me is that it's actually a month-to-month basis. So your commitment is actually only a 30-day commitment, yet most of our vanpoolers stay on the road for 2 to 3 years average. Of course, one of the things I mentioned earlier is how our service is uniquely positioned. Of course, the health and safety of our customers comes first. So piggybacking a little bit of our enterprise rent-a-car complete clean pledge, meaning all renter vehicles will meet specific criteria and checklists before being issued to a customer. On the commute side, we coach our groups to work together with their van family. That's how we usually call them lately. People who they actually know and trust from work. And they slowly build a routine to clean and disinfect the vehicles each and every day, all, of course, while following various guidelines from health authorities. And what we did actually for any new groups, we'll be delivering the vehicle with a complete clean starter kit, which includes a welcome letter, a cleaning checklist with high-touched areas that we usually recommend our coordinators and our vanpoolers to frequently clean, some disposable masks and gloves, cleaning solution, and some cleaning supplies just to get the group going. This way, you actually do have a proactive plan in place to keep going with your commute. So why is actually commute planning important? Of course, aside from the return to work planning, we know that a proactive commute plan makes the difference. For all of you, we really actually want to focus on the benefits of saving money, reducing stress, and have more usable time for you versus driving alone. A goal for you is to actually arrive to work with more energy, have an opportunity to establish and build a relationship with your colleagues. Actually, after having several conversations with our vanpoolers that have been up and running throughout this pandemic, we've seen that the overall job satisfaction is higher when you don't have to drive your own car each and every single day, being stuck in traffic and dealing with all that daily routine. You can simply use this time in the vehicle to relax or catch up on your work, listen to your favorite podcast, or actually just sit back and read your favorite book. But overall, our goal is to reduce the stress for not having to drive each and every day. So what's next and how to start riding together? Commute with Enterprise will actually partner with your commuter services program manager and our Transportation Management Association director to make a game plan. We'll definitely help you join one of our existing groups or even create a new vanpool that fits your needs and your schedule. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. My team and I look forward to working with each and every one of you and changing your commute vision. When you are ready, our team will be ready to help you out. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Effie. Again, some more great information on vanpooling, helping. We, as your commuter services partners, can help you anytime to work with either Andrew or Effie to set up a carpool, vanpool, and go from there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sophia, and we're going to bring in our panelists, and we're going to talk about some different questions and things about carpooling, vanpooling, and experiences that everybody has. All you, Sophia.
Thank you, Julie. So yes, we have Winston that you can see. Hi, Winston. And we also have Ned. I think you're there, Ned, on the phone with us.
I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes,
We can,
you can.
yes, excellent,
Yes, we
great.
can. So fortunately, we are, it's very unusual where you have two vanpoolers on a call together, and we are so excited to have you both here. I'm just going to let both of you just take a minute just to introduce yourself again and give a little background of what it is that you do. So we'll start with you, Winston.
Hi, again, thank you all for having me. I look at this as a great honor to be able to, give my feedback and share my testimony with you all. So I thank you for that. So I'm a nurse, been a nurse since 2002, and I currently work at the Bedford VA, been working with the VA for about a decade now, and, have been working with rideshare pre and during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's been quite the experience, but it was mentioned a few moments ago about the ability to exhale and de-stress yourself, and having that support. It's this very important element that has helped us as frontline workers get through this.
Great. Thank you, Winston. And Ned?
Sure. So my name is Ned Quigley, and I work for Amazon Robotics just north of Boston. And I commute down here from New Hampshire, which is the greatest state in the union, I might add. And the Vanpool has been going for just probably about a year and 2 or 3 months now, and it's been excellent. Obviously, it's been a little different the last 6 months, being that I'm primarily the sole user of it. But fortunately, the company does offer, they subsidize, and they've continued to do that. So, when things get back to normal, or at least closer to normal again, we'll still have this resource to utilize and to try to attract, talent from the north.
Excellent, excellent. So just a few questions for you all, for both of you, and Andrew and Effie, if at any point in time you want to chime in on any of the questions, please feel free to do that. So what made you decide to form a Vanpool? Winston?
Yeah. So initially, when I was first made aware of this opportunity, I thought to myself, okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to save some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to save some time. That's, that forgotten commodity that we all cherish, but we tend to forget about it, and it interferes with time management. But then, there were some other things that just came about. I thought about, wow, I can actually reduce my footprint, carpooling. Never thought about it until then. I thought, okay, so I can actually do my part, and I can save time, and it was a win-win-win-win all across the board. So I'm a people person, okay? And, this technology is great because we get to meet, and it doesn't matter where you are. But, as a person who loves to be around people, especially during these times, it's helped with connecting with people and sharing your feelings and concerns. And as a nurse, that's very important to us, for our patients to be able to express their feelings and concerns. And this rideshare has enabled us to kind of provide some self-care for ourselves. It's been therapeutic. So, I also decided initially, because I thought, wow, this will be a great way to team build with people that I work with, and also just create that camaraderie that has come out of it. So a lot of different reasons, but the footprint one was something that just kind of, I thought, wow, it's great, and able to save time and money, like I said earlier.
Great,
an
great.
added
And
bonus.
how about you, Ned?
So the actual concept of this was kind of presented to our company. I'm not sure if it was we have a commuter services or if it was someone from enterprise soliciting or however it went, but they've been looking for a solution for folks that were further away and not coming from the direction of the city. The company has some actual shuttles for that, but I know that they're always looking to widen their pool from which they may be able to recruit folks. So it was, I don't want to say it wasn't my idea, but it was kind of the company's idea. But I, being one of the folks invited from away, was kind of volunteered to be the coordinator, and I was happy to do it. So we came up with a kind of a, let's get started with this plan, and that plan was basically that we would leave the van at a commuter lot, and we'd kind of operate it on almost on a schedule too, and we would pick up at a second commuter lot that was about halfway to the office, so folks had two places they could go to and park for free. And we also were able to work with Enterprise to get some extra keys. That way, it wasn't all on one person. If that person happened to be sick or something came up, then no one could ride, right? So it's worked out real well. And we also have, internal text groups so that, if someone is running a little late, they can say, hey, I'm 2 minutes out or whatever. But if we don't hear from you, then we leave when we're going to leave, that kind of a thing.
Okay, that's great. It's a great partnership that, Commute with Enterprise, and I believe your person is Courtney. Your commuter service person is Courtney. So that's great, working with Amazon. So when you're not driving, and Ned, I know right now, there the Vanpool is not there, but when it was, how did you use your time? Or were you always the driver?
So in our situation, there were 2 or 3 of us that got, to be approved or certified or whatever the word is. And so a lot of the time I was a driver. But I will say, whether I was driving or not, the commute flies by when you have people sitting beside you to visit with. It's incredible. Even pre-COVID, when you're sitting in traffic for 20 or 30 extra minutes, that has been, I think, the most surprising benefit to me, is how quickly it seems to go by, even if it's not actual, factually quicker.
Great. And Winston, so tell me, what was your biggest adjustment to ride sharing?
Yeah, so the biggest adjustment for me, and I think it's safe for me to speak for my fellow rideshare riders, was just realizing and trying to come to the understanding that we all come from different backgrounds, we have different lifestyles, and people have different priorities on their time. And we quickly acknowledged this right at the beginning. And what we did say to one another was, okay, let's find this common ground. And one of the common things that we wanted to accomplish was getting to work on time. That's a biggie. So, and we all appreciated, we were able to share. We had like a little powwow, a little meeting. And we talked about this from day one, because I realized from the very beginning that, okay, there's a lot of diversity at the VA hospital. And we embraced that. But we could not ignore the fact that people have a different mindset when it comes to their time. And so we found that common ground, that our goal is to get to work on time. Some people are juggling, doing many different things, whether it's preparing meals or picking up someone before they go to work. And we found ways to support one another to make it happen, so that we actually get some of the riders have actually said, I haven't been to work on time like this ever. And now since the rideshare, I'm not kidding you. And it's from that maturity of coming to that approach to say, listen, this is what we need to do. It's fair to our coworkers. It's fair to the patients that we work with and serve, our veterans. And so it's really worked out. But that was the biggest adjustment. It was taking a look at myself in the mirror saying, okay, yeah, I have to study. I have different things I need to do, but so does everyone else. And so we kind of came together, shared our feelings, our concerns about how we're going to get this accomplished. And we did it through communication.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Winston.
Sophia.
So Ned,
Oops, sorry for jumping in. I just wanted to. I couldn't stop by totally agreeing with Winston, and it's funny he brought that up because while I was in the new hire orientations and presenting to all of the employees, you would see a lot of the hands pulling up and be like, oh, this is the great solution for me because I am always late for work. So this will actually put me in a schedule to be ready on my time and always show up on time. And I've even had a lot of supervisors sending me individuals like, hey, this person is going to get fired unless they start coming to work on time. So it's so funny you brought it up. It literally brought me back to the days I was coming to the new hire orientation, and you would see like little hands popping left and right. It's like, yep, count me in. I'm one of those as well.
Yes, that's great. That is really great. So we are coming up on a little short of time, but I'm going to ask you guys just one last little question, and I'll let you give me like maybe 15 seconds to answer. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's thinking about vanpooling or carpooling? Winston.
Do it, and there's no I in team. Consideration for others, and just do it. It will benefit you in many ways, and just remember to allow yourself to work with others, and it'll be a great experience for you.
Great. Thank you, Winston. And Ned?
So Winston took the words right out of my mouth as far as just do it. Literally, I was going to say, just do it. We had a couple of meetings with people that were maybe interested, but nobody kind of wanted to take the lead or pull the trigger on it. And we realized, like, all right, let's just do it. Let's get something out there. Let's try it, and then we'll see how it goes.
Right.
And I mean, it's again, there's great camaraderie, and the cost savings is it's substantial, significantly substantial. Wear and tear on your own personal vehicles, fuel savings. I mean, it really has had an impact on my checkbook for the last 15 months or so that I've been involved with it.
That is great. I want to thank you, Ned, even though we couldn't see your face. Maybe we'll get a picture of you and, just somehow pop it up. I don't know. But thank you so much. And Winston, thank you as well. Andrew and Effie, as always, we enjoy your presentation on Waze Carpooling and Commute with Enterprise. So with this, I'm going to throw it to Kelly, so she can talk to us about, how to go about finding that partner if you want to carpool or vanpool.
Sure. So we'll just wrap up real quick. I know we're short on time, but there's a couple different ways that we do this. We heard from both Ned and Winston that their work organizations started this, with Commute with Enterprise in partnership with their commuter services. So, your commuter services is obviously your number one resource for this. We do something called employee zip code mapping, where we kind of pool together these clusters of where is everyone coming from. And then we invite those people to have a discussion of, let's start something like this, if you're interested. But there's a way that you can actually take control of this as well. So if we go to ecommuter.org and log in, you actually land on this things to do page. You click Carpool Vanpool, And then you have an entire profile where you live, where you work, what's your schedule, and then who's available with you. So, from this carpool results list, I have 3 different people. I can kind of see where they're coming from, where they're going. I can, do all sorts of things like that. So different search radiuses. I don't only want to go, 5 miles from my origin, or along my route, I'm willing to go 10 miles just to pick somebody else up to do some of those cost savings. You click search and it's all right here. All of the communication is actually through the database, so it's very secure in that way. I can change and customize this message to whatever I want. It's very easy, very simple. Like I said, your commuter services is your #1 resource, but this is definitely a way where you can kind of take control of that. Just a little short plug for ERH. If you go to the ERH tab here, this is actually where you register for the Emergency Ride Home program. So that's with, should you have a day that you don't have your personal vehicle and you have to get home in an emergency situation, your commuter services actually gives you a free ride on Lyft, taxi, or we even partner with Enterprise Rent-A-Car to get you home depending on the distance you need to go. So it's a really robust program. I'm going to switch real quick back over to our just our last little bit about the secret sleuth and those sorts of things. One of the biggest things I should say is, let me sorry, getting back my screen up. One of the biggest things for the commute match choices that we just looked at really briefly is that you can find partners within your company location. So if I work at Amazon and I only want to carpool with other Amazon employees, I have that option. Or if I want to search all the commuters within the database, I can also do that. So that's a little bit of a comfort there. We talked about the emergency ride home real quick. We did the demo, and then I'll just pass it back over to Julie to do the final sleuth, or the second clue for our sleuth game.
Excellent. Thanks, Kelly. Thank you. Once again, thank you, speakers. Thank you, panelists. Thank you. Thank you. It's been fabulous. Today's secret sleuth word is commuter, as Kelly has up on the screen. Save this and join our next 2 weeks to receive the additional clues that will create a Rideshare Month themed phrase. Once you collect it and you get that phrase, you can email it to info@ecommuter.org. With the subject matter secret sleuth. If you missed today's webinar, you can go to the YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel link will be in our email follow-up that you'll receive. So today, for attending today's webinar, somebody will have a chance to win an Amarol car wash and cleaner kit. So let's see who we have here. Lexi Santiago, congratulations. You have won our door prize for today. And thank you for joining us. We hope you found this helpful and will join us each Thursday throughout October as we help to educate you on all aspects of different commute modes. Keep an eye out for information in your newsletter and email updates. The second sleuth word, I'll say it again, is commuter. And after the webinar, you'll receive a quick survey that we hope you complete. If you have any questions or comments, you can reply to that email and your commuter services representative will respond to you. So next week is October 15th, Commute Like a Transit Pro. That will be next week. The 22nd is Mastering the Art of Active Commuting, and the 29th will be Rideshare Trivia and Quiplash with prizes, and then we will announce our Secret Sleuth winner. So with that, I want to thank everybody once again. Have a fabulous afternoon and make sure that you continue to share the ride. Thanks, everyone.